Intro. When you think of a basketball scorer who could do absolutely everything on a basketball court, one name immediately leaps to mind: Carmelo Anthony. A 10-time All-Star, scoring champion, and Hall of Famer, Melo carved out a legacy as one of the purest offensive weapons the game has ever seen. He wasn't just a shooter or a dunker or a post player. He was all of those things, and then some. Today, we're diving deep into Carmelo Anthony's scoring bag to break down the moves, mindset, and meticulous details that made him virtually unstoppable from 2003 well into the late 2010s. Section 1. The Step Back 3. Carmelo Anthony's Step Back 3 stands as one of the signature shots of the 2000s and 2010s NBA. Unlike a pull-up jumper or a catch-and-shoot, Melo's step back was a weapon he built from the ground up. It began with perfect foot placement, a hard dribble to the defender's hip, planting that inside foot, and sliding the outside foot straight back to create separation. That fraction of a second afforded him the space to rise over outstretched arms, loading up his legs and firing a high arc shot that hit nothing but net more often than not. The real beauty of Melo's step back lay in its versatility. He ran it out of horns, from the wing, even coming off screens to spring an extra half step. He'd throw in a jab step to freeze the defender even longer, or glance off a pump fake to bait a reach-in foul. And when the defense adjusted, doubling him in the post, he used that same footwork to pop out and let it fly from NBA range. Clutch moments? Plenty. With the game on the line, Melo rarely passed up his step back. Christmas Day 2008, he hit a 29-foot step back over two-time Defensive Player of the Year Dwight Howard. The next season, a 2010 playoff gem saw Melo bury a game winner in Phoenix by breaking down Channing Frye, stepping back, and drilling it from 25 feet. Each time, it wasn't sheer athleticism that carried him. It was the honed, repeatable mechanics of that lethal separation move. Section 2. Post spin and turnaround. When you think of Melo in the paint, most remember the trademark post spin and turnaround. It went like this. He'd catch the ball with his back to the basket, plant a hard dribble to his preferred spin side, often the right, and whip his hips in a tight 180-degree rotation. From there, Melo would rise into a silky smooth turnaround jumper, using his free hand to shield the defender's contest. What made the spin move so devastating was how Melo disguised his intentions. At times, he'd start the spin, then kill the momentum mid-motion, faking left, before collapsing into a quick hop shot over the defender's outstretched arms. Other times, he spun directly into a power fadeaway, putting his opponent on skates before lofting a high-arching shot. The spin also doubled as a path to the paint when he chose to finish at the rim, often catching defenders overcommitting and gliding into a layup or short float. Defenders dared not reach. Post-ups meant a high chance of an and one. Melo's footwork kept him balanced in traffic, and his low center of gravity made him a tough target to knock off his line. Combine that with precise body control, and you had a player who struggled to be effectively doubled or trapped in the low block. Section 3. One-handed thunder dunks. While Melo's nickname was the scorer, he possessed a dunk package worthy of any high-flying small forward. His one-handed thunder dunks were staples of highlight reels, a chase-down breakaway, a lob cut, or a drive and finish through the paint. Carmelo attacked the rim with power, sometimes throwing down above the crowd for poster-worthy finishes, instantly energizing his team and demoralizing the opposition. One memorable sequence came in a 2009 road game. With the Knicks trailing by 2 and slipping into a funk, Melo intercepted a sloppy inbound pass at mid-court. He coasted in for a two-handed catch the ball, paused to gather defenders, then erupted for a one-handed flush over a 7-foot center. The packed arena erupted, and the Knicks rode that momentum to win. That's the impact of Melo's dunk arsenal. More than points, it swung momentum, stoked fan energy, and forced defenses to keep eyes on his every cut. Section 4. Crafty floaters and Euro steps. In heavy traffic, Carmelo developed a series of floaters and Euro step finishers that underscored his touch around the rim. It started with reading the defense, identifying slow-footed centers or help defenders who stepped up too aggressively. Melo would take one hard dribble toward the lane, then plant his outside foot and hesitantly glide a high-arcing floater over the outstretched arms. The Euro step, however, became a late-career flourish, Initially more a staple of guards, Melo incorporated a two-step gait, stepping right then left, or vice versa, to glide around help defenders. Picture this. Defender sags. Melo drives right. The defender moves to cut off the lane. Melo gathers the ball, steps back left, floats a runner just inside the paint over his head, and in it goes. That degree of craftiness in the paint showcased Melo's willingness to adapt and evolve his mid-range dominance. Those floaters also served to change up his rhythm, keeping defenders off balance. One possession might feature a quick pull-up mid-range jumper, the next, a Euro step floater in the lane. That unpredictability in his finishing repertoire made Melo a nightmare for interior defenders. Section 5. Drawing contact and the and one. Few scorers mastered the art of drawing contact like Carmelo. He knew how to leverage his body, sell the bump, and draw fouls without risking off-balance shots. In isolation, he'd lean into the defender after a hard drive baseline, keeping his torso square to the basket so any chasing hand on his back looked like a foul. He held the ball high, knowing that any reach would ultimately hit leather. Rewind to November 2012 in Denver. Melo caught the ball on the right wing, faked a dribble drive, and planted his inside foot for a pull-up jumper. The defender lunged. Melo passed the point of no return, falling forward into the natural motion of the shot. The whistle blew, then another as he converted the layup, and he stepped to the line to complete the three-point play. Those are the plays that extended scoring runs. Each and one amplified momentum and deflated defenses. His free throw stroke, while not perfect, was reliable enough to capitalize on those drawn fouls. Year after year, Melo shot between 74% to 84% from the stripe, ensuring his basket plus free throw conversions often swung games in his team's favor. Section 7. Adaptability and off-court preparation. One of the lesser-known facets of Carmelo Anthony's success is how he continuously adapted his game and approach off the court. Melo never rested on natural talent alone. He spent countless hours in the gym refining weak spots, adding new moves, and studying film. In Denver, he worked to extend his range. In New York, he incorporated more floaters when defenders keyed on his step back. And in his later years, he developed a reliable mid-range fadeaway to compensate for reduced explosiveness. Beyond skill work, Melo's preparation included mental conditioning. He studied opponents' tendencies, watching how elite defenders forced mistakes and learning countermeasures. That film study paid dividends when he faced top-tier perimeter lockdown specialists. He could anticipate closeouts and bait defenders into overcommitments. Melo also leaned on sports science, embracing strength training, nutrition plans, and recovery routines to maintain peak performance through grueling 82-game seasons. Whether it was early morning shoot-arounds or late-night film sessions, his evolving work ethic kept him in the conversation as a top scorer well into his 30s. His adaptability serves as a blueprint for aspiring players. Natural talent is only the foundation. Sustained greatness demands constant evolution, relentless preparation, and a willingness to reinvent your toolkit when the game changes. At the end of the day, Carmelo Anthony's legacy isn't just in his 27,000-plus career points or his 10 All-Star nods. It's in how he combined lethal perimeter shooting, old-school post moves, and sheer willpower to become one of the purest scorers ever. Melo inspired a generation of players to value the mid-range game, to mix in crafty finishes, and to assert themselves fearlessly in late-game moments. His journey, from a young phenom in Denver to a seasoned veteran in New York and beyond, showcases adaptability, relentless work ethic, and an unbreakable scoring DNA. Whether you loved or hated him, you had to respect him. Thanks for watching this deep dive into Carmelo Anthony's scoring bag. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more in-depth analyses of the NBA's greatest offensive talents. Let us know in the comments which Carmelo move is your favorite, and stay tuned for our next video.